Hi, this is Pastor Steve with an encouraging word. You know what's going on here? You know what's taking place? For some of us, we think it's worship. We're in the sanctuary, but we think sanctuary is a place where we draw near to God. Worship's that place where we get closer because we're far away. We need to draw near because we've wandered off. But that's not what worship's about. It's not about trying to climb a ladder to make ourselves better, to get closer to God. Because we're already close to God in Christ. The good news is that Jesus is with us. And by His Spirit, He's with us. Let me read you a verse from Paul, Colossians chapter 1, verse 27, that kind of underscores that. He writes, "To them God chose to make known how great among the Gentiles are the riches of the glory of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory." See, Christ is in us. That's our hope of glory, to experience God's presence with us now and to experience heaven in His glory forever. It's a mystery because just as God so loved the world, He sent His Son and became flesh and lived among us. We celebrate that at Christmas. That's Emmanuel, God with us. Even Jesus promised to never leave us or forsake us, to leave us as orphans. He promised to send the Spirit. And so we know that Christ is with us because the Spirit dwells within us. And that's a bit of a mystery too, how that happens. But the reality is we can get no closer to God than we already are. God could not love us more than He already does, even if we climbed a ladder to get closer. God could not love us less, even if we feel lower than a ladder, if we're down in a pit. God is with us. And that's God's promise, and that's the reality, and that's where worship starts. Because God is with us. It's a response to the love of God that's with us always. That little hymn says it so well. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in His wonderful face. That's what worship starts with. It starts with us paying attention with our eyes, with our ears, with our hearts and minds. We're turning that way. We're being intentional about recognizing and making space to receive what it means to be in God's presence. But His presence is with us always. It's looking at His wonderful face. It's paying attention. Again, it's watching and listening and waiting. And it says the things of earth grow strangely dim. By turning and recognizing God is with us, then we get a different perspective on life. Suddenly the cars and the houses, the boats, the land, the job titles, they don't seem as important. Because the God of love is with me, and I'm recognizing that. I'm aware of it. Although the love was there always, now I'm paying attention. That's what worship's about. And the things of earth grow strangely dim in the light of His glory and His grace. And God's glory, catch a glimpse of who God is and who we are. And we experience His grace because we're watching, we're waiting, we're listening, we're abiding. So we're going to talk about worship this week during our time together. But I hope you realize the starting place of worship comes on realizing that God is with us. We don't have to climb a ladder. We don't have to take steps. God is with us right here, right now, whether you're in sanctuary or in your home or listening in your car. God is with you. And worship is where we start to turn to realize that God is with us and we're with Him too. And that's a word of encouragement from Pastor Steve.